on the Aggie Sports Network. From Learfield, Aggie basketball has been brought to you by Sports Academy and Racket Club. Your club, your results, your life. Zions Bank. For 150 years of helping you succeed, Zions Bank is for you. Ford. Build Ford proud. Also by Stokes. Stokes Trucking. Doing the right thing since 1979. Welcome to Aggie Postgame. From the All-in-One Flooring America radio booth, here's Scott Gerard.
Welcome on back. You're listening to Aggie basketball. Final in Logan, final in the Spectrum, 83-59. It's your post-game show brought to you by Farm Bureau agent Brandon Jensen. Call Brandon right now, 435-752-4800. It's your future. Let's protect it. Well, Boise State's going to hold on, never in doubt. They're going to beat Colorado State. The Rams are going to now have back-to-back losses. This conference is a nightmare.
Not easy. Not easy. That's why these games of Wyoming at home are so important. You steal Colorado State, Boise gets them tonight. It'd be interesting to see if it's a peak early or not. Probably not. Nico
a little bit like maybe New Mexico last year.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, good team, but obviously Boise at home is a tough place to play, and they're a good team. I mean, you and I could have a discussion. There's 4 teams probably that could win the Mountain West Conference team this year.
Oh, yeah, easily. Maybe 5.
Yeah, maybe 5. I mean, there's no one that's – I hate to say there's no one that's like, oh, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. But there's just really good teams. Utah State, really good team. San Diego State, really good team. J.C. Carroll, kind of flat hair tonight, but not bad. Boise State, really good team.
I don't know, man. Looks pretty good to me.
No, he looks great.
I'll always have hair jealousy with that guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.C. Carroll just popped up, and he looks sharp. He looks really, really sharp. We were talking, actually. I think J.C. could go put 30 on someone. But he's not as good looking as his wife.
No, he's getting called off. When Mama says, let's go, we got to go.
She's like, we're getting out of here. But, no, this conference is a beast. And you look at it, Colorado State comes in 13th, loses to Utah State, then goes to Boise, loses to Boise. Boise, Nevada, Colorado State, New Mexico, Utah State, San Diego State. It's a great conference. Really good year of basketball.
It really is. Let's go through the stats on this one. Utah State with a W. 83-59. Aggies end up shooting 52% from the field. And how about this? After going, 1 of 9 from the three-point line in the first half.
Yep.
The Aggies go 6 of 22, 27%. That's a little below their average, but not much.
So I'm just doing the math really quickly. 5 of 13.
Yeah, 5 of 13 in the second half.
And so, 27%. Honestly, that's what they are. They're a 27 to 30% three-point shooting team. That's
honestly,
exactly
if you're an Aggie fan, you need to be nervous if Utah State starts a half going 5 of 8 from a three-point line, because you know the second half isn't going to be good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, the thing I don't want, and granted, Jackson made one. I think Josh made one late. We just don't want 22 threes. But tonight it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The 83-59. But that's not a number that you want against a really good basketball team. Against a Wyoming, you can get away with it.
One of the biggest reasons we talked about in pregame, this is a Wyoming team that had 6 games this year where they've committed 18 turnovers or more. 3 of those were 20 or more turnovers in a game. Tonight they had 16 turnovers, which isn't quite to that number. It's still way high.
Yeah, they averaged 15 a game,
yeah.
And so they were above their average.
But Utah State turned those into 17 points, so essentially a point per possession for those turnovers. But it was when it happened, and it was that surge in the second half, which really led Utah State that, 3 or 4 straight possessions with Great Osobor getting breakaway dunks, and it was like, okay, well, that's pretty much, we're done at this point.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It really was determined 3-5 minutes into that second half. But like you said, it was when the turnovers came, and it was like the floodgates opened, which led to easy buckets for Utah State. So, yeah, I'll be interested in asking Danny what he told him at halftime, because they obviously came out with a higher level of intensity, and probably intensity. They were still intense, but a higher level of intentionality.
Yes.
Of where they were going to get the ball to.
I like that. Your Aggie scoring summary brought to you by your Utah pork producers, providing safe and wholesome pork products to Utah families for over 25 years. Visit utahporkproducers.org. We'll continue on with your post-game show next. Another W for the Aggies. They just keep stacking them, folks. 83-59 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Aggie Sports on KVNU is sponsored by the new Liberty Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Montpelier, Daryl's Appliance, Advanced Heating and Air, Golden Spike Electric, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, My Mattress, Prodigy Brewing, The Advocates, Cash Valley Bank, Aegis Healthcare, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, and Les Olson IT on KVNU, the heritage home for the Aggies.
Nearly 21 years ago, Cafe Sabor opened their doors in historic Logan train station. With the help of hundreds of amazing employees and patronage of thousands of wonderful customers, Cafe Sabor is proud to have been voted 3 years in a row Cache Valley's favorite Mexican restaurant in the Best of Northern Utah contest. Follow Cafe Sabor on social media for giveaways and promotions. Search Cafe Sabor for a restaurant near you. Thank you, Cache Valley, from your friends at Cafe Sabor.
Elements has delicious lunch specials. Soup, salad, and bread for just $10 is tasty and quick. Elements lunch menu is full of scrumptious items. Wood-fired pizzas are an excellent choice that include barbecue chicken and the bee's knees. The fresh battered halibut fish and chips with seasoned fries is always a hit. And don't forget the fan favorite, Chipotle fried chicken sandwich. Thursdays, enjoy Elements house-made smoked brisket, casual or professional. Open Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11:30 to 9. Visit theelementsrestaurant.com for reservations.
Do you have a fireplace or stove that isn't working right? Don't wait until winter to get it fixed. Get ahead of the game and get your fireplace or stove serviced now by the Best of Northern Utah winner, Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They service everything from Quadra-Fire pellet stoves to heat and glow fireplaces. Get a 20% discount on your next service and labor when you mention this ad. Call 752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com. Advanced Fireplace and Stove, where comfort is their business.
Utah State Sports is brought to you by S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock on News Talk KVNU, covering Utah State sports like no one else.
In this one, coming up here in just a moment, we'll chat with Danny Sprinkle. We'll also hear from Darius Brown, who had himself an impressive double-double tonight. It's 11 assists. But Great Osobor, no double-double for him, but pretty doggone close. And 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists in 30 minutes. Yeah, that's a pretty productive day at the office. Ian Martinez with 6 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Mason Falslev, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in this game. Isaac Johnson started the first half with a 3, started the second half with a 3, and he ends up with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists as well. The Aggies assisted on 24 of their 32 made buckets tonight.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that leads or comes from transition. I mean, they scored a decent amount of points in transition. You think of the dunks by Osobor, the great alley-oop by Sacco, and then also when Great wasn't scoring in the low post, he was distributing for open looks. Isaac got the open 3, Mason with the monster dunk, but it all came from back to the basket, double team, and then Great finding the open man. So that was the key.
You know, Utah State came into this game averaging nearly 11 offensive rebounds tonight. They had 9 tonight. A lot of those coming from Great Osobor, but they turned that into 11 points. Second chance points has been kind of a key point, but the number that you love and you go to very often, points in the paint, Aggies outscoring Wyoming 48-22 with points in the paint.
That's how this team wins, is they just attack the paint and then free throw line as well by getting in the paint and getting fouls. But yeah, we know who they are. They're not a great three-point shooting. They don't have Doug Raymond out on the perimeter to just sink threes day in and day out. And so they've got to get in the paint and score layup after layup. And so they're figuring that out. Like I said, they shot a little too many threes tonight, but able to get in the paint and attack it.
Aggies never trailed in this game, led for 37 minutes and 53 seconds. Wyoming was able to tie it a couple times, and then there were some moments there late in the first half where Utah State led by 8. Wyoming was able to cut it down to 1, but they never could get over the hump. And let's be honest here, it all this thing really got out of hand in the second half when Utah State went on that 11-0 run to start the second half.
Yeah. It was back and forth. I think, 10-10. Utah State came out, I think, 8-2, but then Wyoming kept it close the entire time. And like I said, they looked so comfortable, especially Cott. Darius did a good job of making Griffin look uncomfortable and not getting to where he wanted to, but everyone else was getting where they wanted to. And Cott looked really good, kept him in the game, and just back and forth. And you and I were talking, it didn't feel great if it continued like that. Wyoming was going to stay in this game. Fortunately, those first few minutes, very, very different.
You know that as a player, too. I'm sure when you're at halftime and you're thinking, okay, we need to stretch out this game, and you're thinking these first 4 minutes are going to be absolutely key.
Yeah. Oh, you got to come out with a ton of energy, because you don't want a team that's talented enough. They're not as good as you, but they've got talent. You don't want them sitting around believing that they can win this game. And you can crush them early, and that's exactly what Utah State did.
We'll take another timeout. Utah State, 83-59. They get the W and get the big victory over the Wyoming Cowboys. It's all right here on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Aggie fans, it's that time of year again to start thinking about colder temperatures, skiing, and snowboarding at Beaver Mountain. Our student season passes are available online beginning September 1st at skithebeav.com. That's skithebeav.com. Grades 6 through college unlimited season passes are only $375. Come hang out with us this winter and experience the best winter recreation Cache Valley has to offer. Thanks for all the support throughout the years. And as always, ski the beav and think snow.
For your next anniversary, give her the gift of diamonds from S.E. Needham Jewelers. Diamond jewelry makes a woman feel cherished. She'll also be impressed with your fine taste. Choose from an extensive selection of diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond bands, and diamond bracelets. You can expect the best price every day of the year. No need to negotiate because we offer our best price up front with our exclusive integrity price guarantee. S.E. Needham's is known for quality jewelry for more than a century. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Listen to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. It's your post-game show brought to you by Farm Bureau agent Brandon Jensen. Give him a call, 435-752-4800. It's your future. Let's protect it. Joining us now as Utah State protects this winning streak. It's now at 14. And the Aggies, with Houston losing earlier today, the Aggies own the largest winning streak in college basketball right now. How about that, Coach?
How about that?
Sorry, get your mic up there. There we go.
How about that? I don't think anybody in the country, in the world, would have thought that last May.
3 months ago, Scott Gerard, I think, might have predicted something like that.
I go 15-1 right out of the gate.
You're giving him a lot of credit, Spencer.
That's exactly what's going on.
We all believe in Scotty G.
Hey, you got it's a 2-point game at halftime.
Yeah.
And it's ragged. It's what Wyoming wants to do. And that 11-0 run, and we talked about turnovers in the pregame. They've been susceptible to turnovers, and you get quick turnovers. They lead to Great Osobor dunks, and that kind of broke their will at that point. But what was the message at halftime? Because you had yourself a game on your hands.
Yeah, we did, and we were well. First off, we were missing shots. Like again in the first, I think we were 1 of 9 from 3.
Yep.
And really, only one of them was a tough shot. I shouldn't say tough, like contested shot. Like the other ones, we got to make them. Thank God we made some in the second half to release some pressure. But the whole key was, our post guys were a little too soft that first 10 minutes of the game in our ball screen defense. And when you're off of their bigs, they do an unbelievable job of setting screens. Like they weren't illegal screens; they were hitting our guys, and then their guards are attacking downhill, and now you're in a predicament. And our guards on the backside weren't allowed they weren't able to come over and get steals or deflections like we did in the second half. And that was kind of the game plan from the start. And our post guys they weren't. Once they got up to the point of the screen, it changed the game.
Talk a little bit about Great. Started the game offensively. Started the game, got 10 quick points. Seemed like some of the guys were going away from him, not intentionally, but he wasn't getting the ball. I was saying to Scotty, it's not rocket science. I mean, they couldn't guard him in the post.
Yep.
It's either one-on-one or if they start to double. And in the second half, he got Isaac an open shot. He got Mason an unbelievable dunk.
Yep.
But just talk about getting Great the ball. And I remember a guy just pointing when I was on defense, pointing at me and say, and I was guarding the other guy, give him the ball.
Yep.
Is there ever a point where you just point at Great and say, just give him the ball.
Yeah, there is. And the one thing our guys, they do a good job of getting him the ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get a little stagnant when he likes to catch the ball on the perimeter and dribble down, and drives me crazy half the time. But like he's effective when but it slows down our offense. We get stagnant when it happens. Like when we get the ball moving side to side and then hit him in the post.
Yes.
It's a whole different game, and it's harder to guard. It changes where the help is on the defense, and when we do that, we're pretty good. But to have 24 assists and 7 turnovers tonight was terrific. And like I said, I thought Darius had some unbelievable passes, that led to those dunks.
Griffin had only had one game this year where he was in single digits. You hold him to 7 points. And again, rinse and repeat, Darius Brown did a tremendous job defensively. And it seems like he takes these matchups against high scorers personally.
He does.
And there's just, I don't know what else you can say about how he handles himself defensively. It was impressive.
No, he does. The two things he takes personally is guarding his guy and winning that matchup, and getting his teammates shots. Like he feeds off that. Like literally, like even tonight I had to tell him, like, no, I need you to be aggressive from the jump. And I think he made a big, couple shots early that kind of broke the ice. But he's just, that's what competitors do. And he loves the challenge of the Mountain West. And when you're a point guard, like, you're going to see somebody like that every night. Literally every single night you're going to play against a great player.
Well, one thing that I've noticed, Colorado State had a few more deflections, but Darius is always looking up the floor, and he must have a ton of confidence in Great, because he throws some stuff that you're like, I don't know about that one,
and
but
it gets there.
It's really impressive.
No, he does. He's got a knack. He's got a great feel, where it's just like he can see things that I can't even. And I'm right next to him when he's passing half of them. Like I said, half the time I'm like, no, well, good pass.
Exactly.
But it's good, because when you play with somebody like Darius, all the players run a little harder in transition because they know they're going to get the ball.
Great. Now, there's some times when he's out on the perimeter that the passes get a little wonky sometimes. But in the post, he's a great post passer. And he can, there was a transition where he's running a transition too. Like, is that always, did you notice that from the start with him, or is that something that he's been able to develop?
He's always had that. Sometimes he tries to get too fancy.
Yeah.
Just sometimes
he feels himself a little bit.
And he wants to do his goggle, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I want these dudes to have fun as long as they make the play.
Yeah. And he does have a really good feel. The one thing that I think he's grown a lot this year is, I would say early on, he has a great feel, but he was a hesitant passer out of the post early on. Tonight, zero hesitation. That double came, he found the open guy, and I think that's a really good sign that hesitancy doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah, and we know teams are going to double him, and like I said, it's going to open up people like Mason's dunk. We're going to get shots on the backside, and we're actually hoping teams double him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's just going to get other players involved, and Great. He's such a good player. Like, he's going to get his anyways.
All right, huge road trip coming up.
Yeah.
And what kind of focus are you guys going to need to have, because this is you're in the gauntlet now?
Yeah, first things first. These guys need a day off. Like I told them, I said, listen, I don't want to see you. If you need something from me, call me, come see me. But other than that, like, get away. This will be the first day that they've actually been able to get away and have off since they came back from Christmas. And so, they need it. They got to get refreshed. And, it was a tough first 3 games, and we know what we're in for. And, when you can finally get a day off in this league, you gotta take it. Now, it's obviously not a day off for the staff and everybody else, but I just want them to get treatment and worry about school and being a college kid.
Well, Coach, appreciate it. Congratulations.
You
Heck
bet.
of a W tonight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Go Aggies. And that crowd was awesome, too. My goodness.
Considering the weather and all that, that was great.
When we got those 3 dunks, this place is rocking. It's awesome.
Yeah,
we'll see you.
Awesome.
We'll see you in Vegas.
You got it.
Good luck down
there.
Go
Aggies.
Man.
Don't split tens. Yeah, big no-no. All right. Utah State gets the victory, 83-59. As joining us.
You were there. You watched the game. Or you heard it all here on KVNU. So now it's your chance to give your thoughts and ask your questions about the action as KVNU Aggie Game Day continues with Aggie Call. The phone number is 435-753-KVNU. Text line is 435-339-0321 for your comments and questions. Aggie Call is brought to you by Les Olson IT, Adams Wealth Advisors, DD Auto and Salvage, LSS Insurance Agency, Cache Valley Ear, Nose and Throat, Cafe Sabor, Beezer Lock and Key, The Sportsman, Liberty Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Montpelier, and Primrose Home Care and Hospice. And now, here's John Russell and the longtime voice of the Aggies, Al Lewis, for KVNU Game Day Aggie Call.
And the Utah State Aggies ranked 20th in the nation, 23rd in another poll, but again now have the longest win streak in the nation because Houston got beat. And the Aggies again lead the whole game against Wyoming, but it was 35-33 at the half. You kind of thought, oh, okay, are we going to have a struggle? Aggies scored the first 11 of the second half, got it out to a 13-point lead. It built from there. Utah State wins 83-59 to get the record to 15-1 overall, and the 14 consecutive wins, longest in the nation. And so Utah State wins it tonight. And I congratulate John. I congratulate 8,213 others because there were 8,214 in the Spectrum tonight to get up there under the conditions of what the weather gave us there for a while. Great stuff. The students were terrific, as you could tell in there tonight. And it's enjoyable to just watch this Aggie basketball team. John, you made it. How was it up there?
No doubt. And it was a great environment. The paying folks kind of were a little slow getting there, but it was a little dicey getting in. But it filled in. A great crowd, 8,200 people. The herd, they just seem to get better and better. I sit at the very top, so I can get a perspective of the whole game. And there were people all game, students trying to get in to sit down, and they couldn't. They had to move around to the side. So hats off to the herd.
They seem to just know exactly. They almost like they're orchestrated and practiced a lot of everything they do. Jalen Moore, that was a really good second half. Now, again, the first half, they were settling for threes, and this team, again, has not shown that they can really make them, although they made a few in the second half. But tell you what, Great Osobor and Darius Brown tonight, that Montana State combination down here to Logan, they were really good tonight.
Yeah, they did a lot of good things. You got to credit Wyoming a little bit. They threw a little bit of a zone on us and stuff and kind of challenged us to try to hit shots from the outside. And like you said, we kind of fell in love with that in the first half. Second half, I feel like we got a lot of transition baskets, a lot of deflections, steals, and Great, such a mobile big guy. He was able to get out and run the court. Darius was able to hit him. I thought their connection was awesome tonight. And like I said, I just think Great's playing at a high level right now. He's really patient, taking what the game gives him. And like you said, I thought Darius was awesome tonight as well.
Great was 9 for 11, hit 2 free throws, so his string continues there. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and another 0 turnover game, plus a couple of steals for him. So, again, much better. And then Darius, the double-double tonight for him with the 13-11. I felt like it wasn't that neat to see Darius come out a little bit offensive early in the game because we kind of needed it, and he made some shots. I think he needs that too, don't you think, Jalen?
Yeah, I do. And, like I said, I think he's a facilitating point guard first. He wants to get his teammates involved, wants to get in the groove of the game. But he is capable offensively, capable to score. He came out aggressive offensively. And I think when he does that, we're a little bit harder to guard as well when he's trying to make plays for his teammates, but himself as well because he can score.
Well, once again, Great and Darius, leading the way. Great effort for both of them. What about some of the other guys? Was there anybody that stood out tonight? I just think we're at that point where we're really going to start rolling on the Mountain West Conference. Who are the guys that you were pleased with, and who do you want to see more out of?
Yeah, I honestly was pleased with the whole bench. I'm a huge bench production guy, and I thought they all did well. We definitely outplayed them from the bench. I think they only had around under single digits, and we were in double figures. From the bench, we saw guys like Carson come in and give energy who hasn't played in a few games, which was just a really good example of, just staying ready and being ready to get in there. I thought he did a great job. I think Josh and Mason are playing at a high level right now and being athletes, getting our team out in transition. And, like you said, you got to give Isaac credit too. I thought he played really well tonight. I think him being a 5-man that can stretch the floor a little bit and hit some threes for us, I think that's big for us as well.
Our bench was 25-9 tonight over them.
I'll take that every night. We heard Coach in his post-game interview saying he didn't want to see anybody tomorrow. At this point in the season, when you're playing this well, do you want to continue to play, or do you look forward to that day off?
Honestly, I think they're going to enjoy a day off, get their bodies back healthy. Like they said, they played on Saturday and turned around and had a quick turnaround after a big weekend to play on Tuesday. Take tomorrow off. That gives you Thursday, Friday, get ready for UNLV. Maybe tomorrow's not a whole day off. They watch a little bit of film here or there, but they try to just stay off their legs and get in the gym, maybe, a few shots up here and there, but they probably aren't going to do anything that's really taxing on the guys' bodies. I think it's going to be more of a recovery day, and I think that's going to be much needed at this point.
Coach said he doesn't want us to even see them. So if they go, they can shoot on their own, but that kind of deal.
He's not calling it out. A lot of folks were asking me what they thought, what the thought was with the Aggies coming into this game now. Big winning streak, top 25 team. I really didn't see much. They weren't very tight. They seemed to be playing pretty well. Can that wear on you as a player?
That was the other thing. I was curious. You become ranked. You only have lost once. You would think there's going to be more pressure on the guys, bigger target on their back. You thought the target was big when you only had one loss. Now they have one loss and they're ranked. So you're just going to get everybody's best every night out. And I was curious to see how our guys are going to play, but they still played like they have been playing. They're playing like they're having fun. They play free. They make good passes. They have fun. They celebrate. They didn't seem that tight at all. And I think that's the attitude that they have to continue to play with throughout the rest of the conference season. And they're going to have that same attitude going into a team like UNLV, who's going to be pretty athletic. And then they got to turn around and play New Mexico, who's also going to be athletic at New Mexico. I think we got to keep that same style of play and just continue to have fun.
The one thing I did notice in this game is I thought second half, and one of your keys was aggressive on defense. I thought in the first half there were a couple of times when the Wyoming guys still drove the ball to the basket. In the second half, I noticed immediately when they drove the ball to the basket, a big was in the way and got in the way to help on the defense when they went around somebody. Then they did have to try to kick some. And another part of your key to this game, one of your Bees or locks, was their aggressive defense, and they're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation. They only made 6. And they were 6 out of 22. So, again, that was another key, I think, that the defense ramped up in the second half for the Aggies, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely did. And I think, like you said, it's just being aggressive, getting in passing lanes, getting steals, making them turn it over. The biggest thing I thought was just getting a lot of live ball turnovers, and we were able to, get points in transition, and we got a lot of points off of turnovers. So I think our defense in the second half, they ramped it up. And did a couple different things. Like I said, it also helps when you have a mobile guy like Great, big guy that can run up and down, and you got a nice guard like Darius that can throw it up to him. We got a lot of easy baskets in transition and off of turnovers, and I think we also need to continue to keep that edge defensively as well.
Well, we're much better offensively if we can get up and down the floor with those turnovers and get those kind of plays. As we had, I counted 6 dunks tonight in the game. The Mason Falslip dunk kind of looked like a Jalen Moore dunk. Jalen, that was quite a drive and dunk, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really nice. I think he's getting his athleticism back, his confidence, and I thought it was a great read by Great. I think that's what he's getting better at too. Teams, the type of defense they're throwing at him, some double teams, all that kind of stuff. He's getting way better at making his reads, passing it out, which also can show that our guards and our forwards are also getting better at reading it and cutting to the basket. And that's what Mason did, and I think Great gave him a great pass, and obviously Mason finished it how I was hoping he would.
Yeah, so I think I might count back. I look at 6 dunks in the game. So your Bees or locks tonight, I think the Aggies did match their energy. I think right from the start we did not dog anything, and we don't as a team, and that's you and I talked about that pregame. This team has not shown that yet, and that's the reason why they've been able to hang in there. And again, aggressive defense, you wanted that, and we did produce points off of turnovers were 17-8 in the game for Utah State. So your Bees or locks hung up. So, Jalen, just a quick thought. Vegas on the road, they did lose one of their really good players. He got an injured knee against San Diego State. Jalen Hill won't play the rest of the year for them. They've had some situations of guys getting eligible, but now most of the guys are getting to play because the NCAA trying to stop people. That has been taken out by a judge, so these guys are playing. So they've got some talent at Vegas, and then you got New Mexico. They're playing each other right now. 58 seconds left first half. Vegas leads 39-36 at Vegas against New Mexico, so we play them in the next 2 games. Just a quick thought, and then I'll have you analyze it, obviously, before the games, but this will be a tough road trip.
It'll be tough, fun. Both really cool places, fun places to play. But I think we got to be on it. Like their athleticism is probably going to be some of the best that we've seen from both teams all season. So I think we got to make sure that we stay disciplined defensively. And I think realistically, one of these games, especially on the road, is going to come down to us being able to make some outside shots because we might not be able to get to the paint and all that kind of stuff as much as we have the last 2 games at home. So I would like to make sure that we get open looks from 3, we knock them down, and we're going to have to deal with their athleticism at both places. And obviously, New Mexico has Mashburn and House, who are able to take over a game by themselves. Going to have to do a defensive job on them as well.
Jalen, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you then on Saturday afternoon for the Vegas game, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good.
We'll see you then. We appreciate Jalen Moore. Again, Beezer Lock and Key. Find out what they can do for you with door hardware, with key fobs, with keys, with business security, all those kinds of things. Beezer, search Beezer Lock and Key. And we're the Aggies win it again. Let's turn it over to you. Texts and phone calls. It's 753-KVNU is the phone number. Text line is 435-339-0321 as game day continues and the Aggies chalk up number 15. No matter how cold it is outside, you can count on a quality-built, super-efficient York furnace to keep you warm inside. York furnaces provide consistent comfort throughout your home. York furnaces are protected by the strongest warranties available. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York dealer at 752-7272 to schedule a free evaluation of your system. Advanced Heating will help you save up to 50% in energy costs this season. Online at advancedheating-ac.com.
Aggie Sports on KVNU is sponsored by the new Liberty Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Montpelier, Daryl's Appliance, Advanced Heating and Air, Golden Spike Electric, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, My Mattress, Prodigy Brewing, The Advocates, Cash Valley Bank, Aegis Healthcare, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, and Les Olson IT on KVNU, the heritage home for the Aggies.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
Hello, I'm Brian Webster, Vice President and Relationship Manager at Cash Valley Bank. As an experienced banker with deep roots in Cash Valley, I thrive on building meaningful relationships, supporting my customers, and providing personal attention to everyone I work with. I'd love to have the opportunity to provide you with that same level of service. Stop by our Logan Mall branch or give me a call and let me show you what opening an account with us can do for you. I look forward to meeting you. Cash Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Don't get caught without power to your home or business. This is Tyler with Golden Spike Electric. We offer Generac backup generators to keep your home or business warm, avoiding frozen pipes, loss of valuable food, or even a flooded basement. Golden Spike Electric is certified and factory trained, so you know it will be installed right and properly maintained. Contact Golden Spike Electric so you'll never be without power again. Online at gsegenerators.com. We also service other brands, Golden Spike Electric and Generac. Power you can count on.
The Aggies, brought to you by My Mattress. Now with 2 locations in Logan. Get your best sleep with My Mattress on News Talk KVNU, the voice of the Aggies.
All right, Al Lewis, John Russell are here, and again, like we said, your show as Utah State wins it tonight by 83-59 over Wyoming. It sounds like a blowout. First half, though, was, again, back and forth. 3 ties, but Wyoming Cowboys never led in the game, and the Aggies have now reeled off 14 in a row and 15-1 to start. Jeffrey's our first one tonight to join with us on our post-game Aggie call on KVNU. Jeffrey, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say how great it is to have you back on the air, Al. We are so lucky as Aggie fans to finally get your voice back, voice of the Aggies.
Well, I'm not doing the games, but again, Scott's doing those. But again, I'm here before the games and after the games, and we got the games on in the radio that people can hear in the Valley, and I think that was the biggest thing. So,
it's been great. But what I wanted to ask was, have we, as a Utah State basketball team, have we had a big man that runs like Great Osobor? He is down the court almost every time. Either he's bringing the ball up or he is running the court, which we saw tonight, with getting like 4 or 5 dunks almost in a row from just him running the court. I don't think that the other teams realize that he's going to be running the court like that.
I think they're going to have to get ready for that. I think you're absolutely right, Jeffrey. We've had, but for really being able to run the court and do the things, I don't know. I don't know if anybody has been as effective as that. That's great stuff.
No, and to be honest, there have been a few times where, Darius has taken it. He's had the ball. He's taken it to the basket. And he almost, I think he doesn't realize that Great is right there with him. So,
right, exactly. It's been pretty awesome to see. It's been awesome to have Great and Darius here. So
it really is.
Kind of game, and it was a great game, and we're looking forward to the next one.
Well, okay. That'll be Saturday afternoon against Vegas, okay? Thank you, Jeff, for joining with us. Appreciate it. I believe James is the next one who wants to be on Aggie Call postgame. Again, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration. Blue Sky is the ARS. Used to be the name. Now it's the new name, Blue Sky. But they do the same great things. Trouble with water, mold, and fire. Call Blue Sky or go to bluesky.com. James, go ahead.
Hey, Al. Hey, John. So I thought it was interesting on the pregame show tonight. You guys were talking, and I think you were talking to the coach on one part about, are we going to see a letdown from the players after such a big win on Colorado State? And I think everybody agrees Coach Sprinkle's not going to let these guys, rest and
except tomorrow. Except tomorrow. He said he said they get tomorrow off.
Right. But tonight I noticed, I don't know if you noticed it, John, but Coach was very, I don't know if animated is the right word, but he was constantly on those guys, and you could tell he was frustrated. So, to your point earlier, the coach is going to continue to just push these guys and doesn't let them let down, right? And I love that about him. Sometimes I get a little nervous because he's just really going at these guys, but, I think he does it in a way that the players have talked about how tough he is, but I think they respect that. And, it pushes them to continue to play hard, right? To continue to do what they need to do. So.
Now, even Great Osobor, I played the little cut before the game. We listen to the coach. What the coach tells us to do, we understand. They get us prepared the right way. We will do what they want us to do. I think these guys have all made that commitment at this particular point. That's the reason why I think in some of these even close games where against Colorado State, they don't play well in the first half offensively, but they hang in the games because they play hard, and the coach demands it or they go to the bench.
And James, you're exactly right. Good teams are good teams because they have players that want to be coached, and all these guys want to be coached. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but
you noticed
the second
it tonight,
half, in the second half, Aggies
we got up
were up
quick.
about 18.
We get up quick,
and he lit into Sacco. Didn't do his assignment, and let him have it. But the great thing, he lets him have it, and then he turns around and says, "All right, now go play." But
exactly.
You're right. We've got a coach that's constantly on him, is coaching him up no matter what the situation of the game is. But you got players that want to be coached, and that's why this team's as good as it is.
Absolutely. He's not running. He's not offending them in any way, or they want to be coached and they want to be schooled, and they know that he's doing it for their good, not just bemeaning them or bemoaning them or whatever.
And now you have the longest winning streak in the country.
Yep. And
exactly. I mean, sorry, Mel.
No, that's okay.
John, you
Go
were
ahead.
spot on. That's what I noticed too. In that second half, the guys are up by 18 points, and he is still just telling guys, you got to keep. And a couple times he really got frustrated and throws his board down. But to your point, I think the guys really respect that because they're learning and they're growing. So. A great game tonight. It was fun to see him win.
All righty. Thanks, James, for that analysis. And what is it? Coach always is telling them that they've got to pay the rent. And I think the coach feels like in some ways, okay, I've been hired here. I'm gonna work, and that's what they do. And the coaching staff all works. And it's interesting if you watch in practice how little parts of the practice other coaches take over, and the assistant coaches do have different things. Great says that Coach Haslam is the guy who has really helped him. The big guy who used to play at Wyoming, incidentally, in his days. So
a good head coach is gonna have really good assistant coaches. I think we all at the beginning of this year, there was a lot of concern. You looked at how we were ranked as far as preseason rankings. You had a team that had no points coming back, very few minutes, and the expectation was things could come around.
I think all of us had the expectations, but you know what? These guys started practicing, coaches started working, and they go, we don't have those expectations, guys. We can beat it and play with everybody, and then we're going to show that. And that's
now,
what we've done.
There were some concerns we talked about after the last game. The Aggies struggled with Colorado State and the way they handled, the high pick and roll. They struggled. And it'll be interesting to see how we do against a more physical, more athletic team. And the funny thing is, there's not a lot of time to waste on that. UNLV, regardless, you've got a team that doesn't have a really good record right now. They're 7-6, and yet they're gonna. I believe it's halftime at that game now,
and I think it was a 1-point game.
And it's a 1-point game, but they're. Even though they've lost a player, this is a
they're
team
7-6, but they score
athletic.
76 and only give up 68 going into this game. They shoot 47%, only allow 42. They do get out rebounded barely in games. They do turn it over only 11 times, and the opponent's 14, so they'll force you into that. And they have shot a lot of threes this year, Vegas has as well. They have about 5 guys that shoot quite a few threes. The one guy who's hurt is not one of their three-point shooters. So.
But if you're worried, right now they're up by 2 at halftime.
Okay. That guy made the free throw
against a New Mexico team that's really good. They're 13-2, and they're going to.
And then
give you
Boise
a run for your money.
State bombed. What was the final on the Boise State Colorado State game?
Get back to that, but they ended up beating Boise pretty handily. Sorry, the computer's just a little slow today.
No, it always is that one.
But that's the thing. You've got to be ready to go at all times. Boise ends up beating Colorado State at Boise 65-58.
How about that? So, again, Boise State's at 2-0. Aggies are the first team at 3-0. San Diego State can get there tonight. They play San Jose in the late game on CBS Sports Network. The New Mexico-Vegas game is on FS1 right now.
San Diego State's up 26-19.
Okay.
About 7 left in the first.
Exceptional home health in the comfort of your own home. It's Primrose Home Health at Hospice, one of our game day sponsors. Aggies win tonight big. Let's go to the text line or more phone calls after this break. Again, it's 753 KVNU, the phone number, but the text line is 435-339-0321. You texters, you've been very patient listening for yours. They're coming up next on Game Day.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. Open enrollment for individual health insurance is November 1st through January 15th. Coverage through the marketplace is available with more tax credits. You could save a bunch. If you haven't qualified in the past, try again now. We will help you navigate the marketplace, understand your choices, and complete enrollment. Trying it on your own can be frustrating. Let us help. Call 752-9493. There is no cost to work with us. Having a local agent makes all the difference. Call 752-9493.
They say diamonds are a girl's best friend, particularly when she's thinking of marriage. When it comes to this important decision, visit S. Needham Jewelers in historic downtown Logan. We have been the part of thousands of happy engagements. You'll enjoy our vast selection of beautiful and unique engagement rings. You'll also enjoy our relaxed and elegant environment. You'll not be hurried, and you'll feel no pressure as you have fun looking for the perfect ring. Where Utah gets engaged. S. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Spice up the winter blues with a delicious outing to Logan's first family-friendly brew pub, Prodigy Brewing. Excited to announce their success at the 2023 Tasting Alliance World Beer Competition. Prodigy Brewing won 3 of the highest medals. Prodigy invites you to try their juicy burgers, sizzling wood-fired pizzas, tasty salads, bar bites, and kids menu. Prodigy Brewing is in downtown Logan, proud to be one of the Logan's vibrant downtown food and beverage destinations. Prodigy Brewing, extraordinary service and family-friendly.
Locker 42 is a store for Utah State fans. Many of the items you'll find there are custom, one-of-a-kind, produced by Locker 42. Such production allows for the best possible prices and custom orders that are unheard of at this level, and is one of the highest contributing licensees for royalty sales. Your purchase at Locker 42 is supporting scholarships and student athletes. Hoodies, t-shirts, hats, jackets, everything Aggie is at Locker 42. Locker 42, a store for Aggie fans by Aggie fans.
Nearly 21 years ago, Cafe Sabor opened their doors in historic Logan train station. With the help of hundreds of amazing employees and patronage of thousands of wonderful customers, Cafe Sabor is proud to have been voted 3 years in a row Cache Valley's favorite Mexican restaurant in the Best of Northern Utah contest. Follow Cafe Sabor on social media for giveaways and promotions. Search Cafe Sabor for a restaurant near you. Thank you, Cache Valley, from your friends at Cafe Sabor.
More analysis about today's game and your chance to talk about it. It's KVNU Game Day with Aggie Call. Here's the voice of the Aggies, Al Lewis and John Russell.
Yep. Again, 8,214. Saw Utah State win their 14th in a row. Best in the country now with the victory tonight. Road trip coming up for the Aggies, but they've started off the conference play at 3-0. They beat Wyoming tonight, 83-59, if you were not with us. I know some texters put in some things a long time ago, John. I do have somebody waiting on the phone line, but quick, can we go to the text lines and let people know what they wanted to say?
Absolutely. 93-15, we went out and kept chopping wood, just like we were supposed to do. Ranking doesn't matter as much as paying the rent. Go Aggies.
Did you hear the coach's reaction? We played that earlier. The coach's reaction is, it's like rat poison. He goes, and he brought it from Nick Saban, who said that. He goes, it doesn't mean anything to me till the end of the year, but he does like the fact that the Mountain West has 3 teams in the top 25 to get the recognition for the conference.
Looks awfully good. 56-62, not a bad crowd for the bad weather. Love watching Darius play defense, and after our caller, I'd like to talk about that.
7 points for their leading scorer tonight with Darius on the defense. All right, let's get to Claire. He wanted to talk. Hello, you're on Aggie Call postgame. Claire, go ahead. Hello, Claire?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Go ahead.
So, it's pretty exciting and fun to watch, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really, really fun to watch. They play just so hard and intense and play fun basketball.
I made the trip to Air Force. That was an awesome trip.
Oh, that was good.
Anyway, the big guy that transferred from Southern Cal, Wyoming, that Max
Ogbonk Polo. Uh-huh.
What's the deal on him?
He did not practice at all. We talked about this before the game because this would have been his first game against Wyoming, which he played for 16 games last year after he transferred from USC. He went to Wyoming and then left there after 16 games. He had he has kind of, I don't know if it's a stress fracture or something in his foot that he was trying to play through. Didn't play the first game of the season, then played and then took 1 game off and then played up to San Francisco, and it was just so bad. He went back to his foot specialist in California. They had to have surgery. It's done. He will come back here and be with the team, but he will not be able to play the rest of the season while the foot is healing. But he has played the minimum or maximum number of games. You could still redshirt. So he could have the opportunity to play 1 more year next year for the Aggies.
Yeah, I liked him.
Oh, everybody did. His defense was terrific and would really help us against a lot of these teams with his defense. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just wanted that. That was my question.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, there we go. We talked about a pregame, but again, maybe a lot of people don't hear. That's fine. We just got that mentioned that, that's Max Ogbonk Polo, who, again, he's going to, Coach said on the pregame that he's going to come back and join the team again. Probably by next week he'll be here.
And I hope he comes back for next year because he's so long and athletic. To have him at the top of the key on his own just changed everything up. And, I think it would be difficult to give it up after an injury like that.
I would hope not.
But I just wanted to talk about Darius real quick. Love watching Darius play defense. And, we see what an offensive influence Great is, and some of the other guys are stepping up. That dunk by Mason Falslev today, unbelievable. But really, I don't think enough credit's given to Darius and the leadership that he provides. We talk about the assists. We talk about not turning the ball over. 11 assists, 1 turnover tonight, and that 1 turnover was not his fault. If Josh had kept on, he would have had a perfect dish and a dunk.
He just got held up at the corner a little bit.
So, But we talk about all those things, but he is also such a defensive stopper. You've seen what he's done all year. And again, like you just said, their leading scorer, he shuts them down tonight. So not only is he running the offense, but he's really the focal point or the head of the defensive effort for the team as a whole.
And again, we switched a lot against Colorado State the other night, but really, I mean, he'd get Stevens most of the time.
Yep.
And when the game was really on the line to be decided, Stevens had 14 points. He did end up with, 21, I think, by the end of the game, but he scored a lot of those. Remember those breakaways at the end of the game and all those kind of things. But you know how hard it is to play defense compared to offense?
Yeah.
You really got to want to play. And if you ask any guy on the team, I'm sure they would tell you, our leader is Darius, and they know it, and they follow him. And that's the reason why everybody plays like they play, because it's how he plays.
Yeah. I just wonder how much behind the scenes that we don't see. He's on people. Darius is going to be one of those guys that this will be a discussion will be had by many people. At this point in time, the way he's playing, only for 1 year, probably the best point guard Utah State's had.
The feelings of what I've seen so far of how he plays his all-around game and what he can do, I don't know if we've ever had a better guy that really runs the point and defends from the point.
And at this point, the question will be, where's he going to be coaching? Because
he's a coach.
He's a coach.
He really is. If he doesn't want to keep playing at some level. Nearly 21 years ago, Cafe Sabor opened their doors in historic Logan train station down here, the depot, and you can enjoy some great food there tomorrow. And let's hear after the game what Darius had to say about his double-double tonight. And he starts off with let's go to the media room.
It's kind of a tough first half there. You guys only leading by 2 there. I guess kind of talk about that first half and some of the struggles you guys are having against Wyoming.
Hard to get stops. We weren't getting stops. Their pace was really good on offense, the ball screens, and that little short roll that they kept doing. It was hard for us to adjust, I guess. And I think we just came out a little sluggish, fresh off the emotional win of, beating a ranked team and then just starting off a little slow. But we knew what it was at halftime. At halftime we came in, we knew how to bounce back, how to get better, and just come out and, put our stamp on the game.
It was kind of you and great at the beginning of both halves, so I think Isaac had a 3 mixed in there, but Montana State transfers that just always look good together, especially those 2 transition baskets.
Yeah, me and Great have a great chemistry on and off the floor. Great's one of my best friends. He's a great guy, and that's my roommate also. So we have great chemistry. We talk about a lot of things, basketball and non-basketball, all the time. So it's just easy to find him. We know how to communicate with each other as far as if he's not happy with something, if I'm not happy with something. We know how to communicate with each other, and that goes a long way on the floor. I know where he's going to be. He knows where I'm going to be. It's all that type of stuff. And yes, and it carried over from Montana State because we had a great relationship last year at Montana State also.
Were you kind of surprised Wyoming didn't call a timeout after that first breakaway slam that he had there in the second half?
No, I thought it was early. I mean, usually I feel like, obviously I'm not a coach, but I feel like you try to withstand runs as much as you can before it gets completely out of control. One highlight play or one play isn't the worst thing in the world. Sometimes you try to hope your team could kind of bounce back from it, but I didn't think it was, I thought it might have been too early to call a timeout after that, but, obviously that was the wrong decision there, but usually you try to, as a coach, I mean, if I was coaching, I would have probably let it go too, but after the second, that was probably the right thing to do.
So what were the key adjustments for you guys on offense? Because kind of late in the first half, they're kind of stopping your offense pretty well, packing the paint, and then the second half, you open up like 11-0 run. Obviously shot really well from the field in the second half. What were those adjustments that you guys made to get going?
It was just stop being stagnant. We were stagnant. We weren't getting stops. A lot, when we started to break the game open, it was transition. We were running out the dunks, great, all that type of stuff. It was getting stops, and then they went to a zone, which we work on that. So I don't know why it was. I don't know. We just started off a little too slow, I guess, to the zone, but we knew what it was. I guess that at halftime as a team, before the coaches even came in, we knew what we needed to do. It was nothing to be said. It was just fix it, come out, make your stamp on this game, do it.
What was said in that locker room at halftime?
We're better than this. We're better than this. We're giving too much stuff up. We're being soft. We're letting too much slide. Playing lazy, we're playing just that type of stuff. It was just fix it, literally fix it, that's it.
And that's Darius Brown after the game with the media. The Aggies did not score a basket other than Isaac Johnson making that one lay-in. In the last 5 minutes of the first half, they got one basket in the first half. They made Brown made the 2 free throws, and Falslip made 1 out of 2 free throws. That was it. But Wyoming went to the zone, and we missed. Josh missed a shot when he got inside. Then he missed a three-pointer, different things. So it did seem to kind of slow us down for a little bit. But they came out in the second half. We started blitzing. I can't even remember if they tried to play zone in the second half because we went by them so fast that after that they couldn't play zone when you get up in double digits.
They started off, and it worked a little bit at the beginning. But
when they go 11-0 like we did the second half, it was gone.
Yeah. The Aggies just, that's a big matter of concern. We've had a couple of games now. Colorado State up by 4 at half. Wyoming down by 2 at the half. Both games they've been in it. You can't play with that fire because eventually.
But you know what? This team also, though, seems to. We've been in that situation a lot this year, where all of a sudden we have ignited, or we've found a way to grind it out and win games, and that's what they've done up until now. They'll find a way.
One of the big things that we all talk about, regardless of the sport, are halftime adjustments.
Oh, we're terrific.
And when it comes to the basketball team, you got to give Sprinkle a A+ when it comes to that.
Sprinkle and staff seem to do it all the time.
Yes,
they really do. We've mentioned that before, and it seemed to happen again. Aggies win tonight. Again, the final was 83-59 over Wyoming. And again, coming up, Vegas and New Mexico. We know tougher games, and we'll talk about those and more. Love to have your texts at 435-339-0321 or the phone call 753. KVNU on postgame game day.
Check out the new Liberty Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Montpelier, Idaho. We've got friendly staff, great service, fresh inventory, and the same values you expect in a small town. Montpelier, Idaho, a small town with great people to serve you, the people of Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah. You can now see most inventory online, too, at libertycdjr.com. We're the new Liberty Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Montpelier with warranty forever.
Copiers, printers, service, and supplies are just the beginning. Les Olson IT is the premier source for your business's structured cabling, IT, software, telephones, and security systems. We partner with you to find the ideal solution to all of your office technology needs. Tell us your goals and we'll get you there. Find out more at lesolson.com.
Les Olson IT.
Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat hopes the new year brings you wonderful opportunities, fresh starts, and of course, better health. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat in the Three Peaks Medical Plaza, North Logan, and Providence is here to help. Cutting-edge techniques, qualified doctors, and friendly staff ensure the highest quality patient care for both adults and children. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for appointments and details. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat offer you solutions to ear, nose, and throat symptoms, helping you live the life you deserve.
It's ski season, Cache Valley, which means season ski rentals. This is Mark at the Sportsman, where we have over 20 years of season ski rental experience. We rent to kids and adults. Come in to get season ski rentals for your entire family. Starting at $69.99, you will get the right gear for your kids to ski this year at the Sportsman on Main Street in downtown Logan with tons of parking in the back.
Welcome, friend. Nice to see you again at the Sportsman.
Hello, Cache Valley. This is Tom Hale at Blue Sky Restoration, formerly ARS. Remember, got a mess? Call ARS. We want to let you know that here at Blue Sky, we still have the same great staff, we provide the same excellent service, and are ready to help you in your time of need with water mitigation, mold remediation, or a fire. From Blue Sky Restoration, thank you for trusting our staff and myself for over 35 years with your disaster needs, and we will continue to be here for you.
The Aggies, brought to you by Alpine Home Medical. They bring wellness home on News Talk KVNU, where Utah State is always number one.
And I don't think we got a identification of the station you're listening to for Aggie basketball right there after 9 o'clock from the Spectrum from the network, but we'll do it right now.
Aggie basketball is heard here. News Talk KVNU Logan, 102 FM, 610 AM, the home for the Aggies.
As we hit about 10 o'clock on this Tuesday, it's only a couple minutes before 10, and Al Lewis, John Russell here. Appreciate all the calls. Appreciate Jalen Moore, our sponsors who make it possible, like Les Olson Company. And always, again, Les Olson, the best defense for your network, everything from copiers to outsourced IT services. And also, it's Alpine Home Medical, as you just heard about Alpine Home Medical. Also, Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, 2 locations in Providence and North Logan. Again, also, they can help you with headaches and migraines. That can have a debilitating effect on your daily performance. Cache Valley ENT can help there. So, John, you said we do have a couple more texts.
Yeah, a couple
tonight.
more comments. 9315 followed up. Wanting to first, glad that the bench helped keeping it rolling. And
I'm glad I talked to Carson Templer before the game tonight.
Well, let's
set
figure
that
out who to interview each
I'm going
game.
to actually talk to one of the assistant coaches before. It's the next one. Eric Brown, I think, is the next one on the list. To introduce you to him, we introduced you to Andy Hill earlier, tried to introduce you to all these new players in some way, and we've had a lot of them on, and now we're going to kind of go through the coaches a little bit too.
9315 also, with Great being so unstoppable, I think he'll make the NBA. Great really has done a good job. I think he needs to develop a little more of an outside game.
He actually, besides a dunk and a layup, he made a little bit more of a banker from about, almost 10 feet tonight. Pretty close.
He did, and that's good. But you look at Great, and this goes back to coaching and what Coach Sprinkle and his assistants do. But there's constant coaching. Again, you look at somebody like Great, and as well as he's played, can you imagine if he could, sit there and hit 12, 15-footers pretty consistently? It would open up the game even more
But
for
he's
him.
smart, and we're getting the shots that he needs to get.
True.
And he's just done a much better job of just being under control inside in some of those places, and the spin moves and different things like that.
Certainly doing a great job with that. 9315 also followed up and wanted to know, and I know you know this, with this win, that's 14 in a row, correct?
There's only now 5 teams that have had longer win streaks in Utah State history.
What's the longest?
2009, 8 and 9 have 19, and 1999 and 2000 have 19. Those are the longest. 17 was 2010 and 11, 2009 and 10, the year right before that, and then 2003 and 4. All of them Stu Morrill teams that are all on the longest deal. We just went past 12-13 and 74-75. So it's now the 6th longest in Utah State history, but it's now the longest in the nation with Houston losing.
Well, 2 big losses in the top 25.
Yeah, but Nebraska really walloped Purdue tonight.
Our friend, Mr. Bill Walters.
He was happy.
He didn't need to drive
home. And he
home.
ran the game tonight, folks. Bill Walter, he was the guy who kept the game on the air on KBNU tonight.
So Nebraska beats Purdue 88-72, and Iowa State beat Houston 57-53. Couple more questions regarding streaks.
How did BYU do tonight against Baylor?
BYU, welcome to the Big 12. They lose to Cincinnati earlier.
Home.
And then they lost to Baylor tonight, 81-72. Baylor's ranked 14th in the country.
Well, it's a little better performance than the one against Cincinnati at home, maybe.
Absolutely. What's the longest the most wins in a season for the Aggies?
30. As I recall, I think we've been to 30 twice.
Yeah.
I think it was that we've been there.
And
I'll look that up real fast.
Okay, and also look at the longest home streak.
We're now to 11 at home, and I think we've had longer than that for sure at home. But the most wins we had were 30 in 2010. That was the 2010-11 team that had 30 wins. And the 2008-9 team had 30 wins. So those 2 teams had 30 wins. And were they part of this group that we just talked about? Yes. The one team that won 19 in a row is one of those teams. The first team that ever won 30 games in Aggie history went 30-5.
Impressive.
And then the 10-11 team went 30-4.
Well, let's keep it up. Let's get to that 30-win threshold. That would be impressive. One other question here, and this came from 8248, and I don't know the answer. I'm not sure you do. I'm going to look it up, but did USU get fined for storming the court against Colorado State?
Some conferences have done that now.
The SEC does. Yes. I know they do.
Yeah, they fine schools for storming the court. Now, Utah State was ready. Boy, they had some guards and they had some people and they had police out there and they cordoned off a little area. They were able to get Colorado State off the floor very easily, so they didn't get bothered by it all. They had these cords or cables or whatever to kind of keep them in a spot. And then the players did enjoy it with the fans after that. So but I don't know if the conference did or not.
How about a quick score update, if you like? Again, we've talked about a couple of games in the books. Utah State winning again, 83-59 in case you're just joining us. Boise State handing Colorado State their second loss in a row, 65-58. Nevada improves to 15-1. They beat Air Force. That game was tight in the second half. They end up winning 67-54. And it
was at Reno, I think.
It was in Reno. And then New Mexico is currently losing to UNLV. That game's on Fox Sports 1. It's 52-44 with about 14 minutes left in the second. And at halftime, again, here's the Mountain West. San Diego State only up 1, 42-41.
On San Jose.
On San Jose, at San Jose.
Okay, and that's on CBS Sports Network. Okay, so your scoreboard update brought to you by LSS Insurance. Again, LSS, last couple of days to be able to get into the insurance exchange for you. If you're not covered with medical insurance in your work, you're unemployed, you need help with medical insurance, LSS Insurance, the last couple of days to get you into that exchange. 752-9493, set up an appointment to see if you can talk with them the next couple of days, one of our great game sponsors. And we'll be back with our final segment of Game Day, Aggies win, and go to 15-1 back after this.
This is Ryan, My Mattress. I have a little bit of a bone to pick with online bed-in-a-box mattresses. If value is the combination of price and quality, these beds are not a good value. They cost about $1,000 and they last about 3 years. That's not a very good ratio. At My Mattress, you can get a $799 Sealy Posturepedic that will last you 10 plus years. The best value is at My Mattress. Isn't it time to sleep exceptionally?
Let's start the new year right with a huge winter clearance at Daryl's Appliance. You know Daryl's for their scratch and dent appliances. Now save an extra 10% off. They just got a fresh new load. And they have selected display appliances marked down to move fast. Plus, get 12 months financing on your purchase through January. But wait, there's more. Book a service call online and get a $15 discount. Only at Daryl's Appliance, west on Airport Road.
Happy New Year! You survived the holidays. This is Jarek at Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Did you meet the family during the holidays? How was that? Is it time to go engagement ring shopping? Valentine's Day is coming, but why wait? Do it now. Bring her in and view our collection of over 3,000 rings. With many of them being our own custom designs, I know we will find the perfect one. At Jarek's Fine Jewelry, we make it special. So come make it Jarek.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special. Make it Jarek's.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical. I'd like to invite you to learn more about us. Since 1997, we've been Utah's premier one-stop shop for home medical equipment. What sets us apart at Alpine Home Medical is the superior level of customer service. We provide home oxygen, CPAPs, wheelchairs, scooters, breast pumps, and so much more. Come on down and get to know us.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit alpinehomemedical.com.
Adams Wealth Advisors loves hearing, "We know our money is being watched over. They take care of it. I'm not worried. Adams knows what to do." Every time I call Adams Wealth Advisors, they have the answers.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind, whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
It's KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis and John Russell.
And you and Aggie fans are enjoying it, and we love you before the games. We're on an hour before we get started. Like, for instance, on Saturday, it's noon because the game's at 1 in Vegas. It'll be on CBS Sports Network. I think it is on Saturday. Then on Tuesday night at Albuquerque, it's an 8:30 game, so we'll be on at 7:30. And that one is on FS1, I believe. I think that's the way it works out with the television. So on the road, the games will both be on television. Plus, we'll have the radio for everybody to be able to hear in the Valley very easily. Scott Gerard with that, and we appreciate getting those games back this year for the broadcast. I think people have really, really enjoyed that, and we're here before the game with Jalen and I to get it started, and then we go to Scott, and then we'll be back after the games with John Russell and with you and your comments and everything. Have we got all the comments in tonight, John?
Let me go back and double check.
I think you looked up, and the Mountain West kind of just leaves it to the school, or something about they don't really find, or you don't think they do.
I don't believe they do. They leave it up to the school. But against Colorado State, Utah State had it well taken care of. You were saying that they had it cordoned off. let the players get off the court, let the hometown fans celebrate.
Remember what we went through with Colorado State and Ukraine? Remember the deal where they were giving what was it, Max Shulga a hard time the last time we went over there or something, it seemed like, so, or at least one of the times over there, and they apologized afterwards and were very, so again, I think I'm glad, and I think Colorado State got off the floor fine the other night, so. All right, so the Aggies win this one. Any more thoughts about it, John?
Well, good win. They came out, as we talked with Jalen about, it was interesting to see how much pressure the Aggies were going to have on their shoulders coming in as not only with the big streak, but now a top 25 team. They played well enough in the first half to have a lead, played very well in the second half. And now the fun really begins. UNLV and New Mexico back-to-back. That's rough.
And then the Aggies will return home on the Saturday, the 20th, against Fresno State. I think they promoted on TV that's an afternoon game. It says here Utah State plays Fresno State at night in a game in the Spectrum. So I don't know. I thought I saw the TV was saying it was going to be at like 2. But then they go to Boise State, and then they will play San Jose at home, and then they get at San Diego State. They only play Nevada here. Mm-hmm. They don't play Nevada on the road. We only play Vegas there. We don't play Vegas at home. That's the way it works. Next year, I think it's all been decided. We'll play everybody home and home. I think we'll play 20 conference games next year.
That'll be good. But, talk about Boise. Hey, they knocked off Colorado State tonight. There's no cupcakes.
No, well, and we know that, and Boise's always a player. Yeah. They're all and we've been up there and had the frustrations at Boise State after we kind of frustrated them that one time with a great comeback there at the end of the game. All right, final stats for Cache Valley Bank tonight. Mountains await. Whatever challenges, opportunities you face, it's always Cache Valley Bank there to support you. Great Osobor, we already mentioned, is 9 for 11, 2 for 2 free throws, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 20 points. And Darius Brown with a 13, 5 of 10 shooting. Did miss his threes, but he was 3 for 3 at the foul line. He had 2 rebounds, 11 points. He had a turnover and 2 steals. Mason Falslev had 9, 4 out of 8 from the field. Missed all 4 of his threes. 1 for 2 from the foul line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers, but 2 steals. And then Isaac Johnson had 10, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 out of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds. He had 3 assists in the game. He also had a block and a steal. And Ian Martinez struggling a little bit offensively, but he found it a little bit there in the second half. Let's hope that continues. 2 out of 5, 2 out of 3 from 3. And he also had 4 rebounds. He had an assist. He had 2 block shots and a steal. Landon Brenchley played 3 minutes and had a rebound in the game and an assist. Josh Aduje had 8 points, 21 minutes of time, 2 of 7 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3, but he also had 3 rebounds. He's been really active in the last couple of games, which really helps us, and 1 steal. Javon Jackson, another solid game with 7 points off the bench, 2 rebounds. He had, and then Carson Templin, 4 points, muscle, got in there, mixed it up. He had an assist. He had a steal. Khalifa Sacco had 4 points. He had 2 rebounds in the game. He also had 2 block shots and a steal. Nigel Burris made the last basket of the game. So the Aggies hit 52.5% in the game, 27% from 3. Again, if they're not going to get inside shots against somebody, they're going to have to make some outside shots. And again, it's been right there close to that 30% or under for threes, but 6 out of 22 is where they were tonight there. But 13 of 14 free throws. Again, 32 rebounds, 24 assists with the 32 baskets. They did have 7 turnovers, and that's great, and they had 11 steals in the game tonight. Wyoming shot 40%, 28% from 3 for about the 15th best three-point shooting team. They hit 78 at the foul line. Aggies out-rebounded. Points off of turnovers were 17-8. Second chance points were 11-7. Bench points 25-9. Paint points were 48-22. Fast break 14-0. All on the Aggies side. So coming up on Saturday, we're back for game day at noon for the game at 1 o'clock from Vegas. We'll see you then. We'll see you with the morning news tomorrow morning here on KVNU. It'll be a red ice special after tonight for me, but I'll be there. Or at least I hope I'll be there if I can get through this slick roads and all. John, thank you very much. We'll see you again on Saturday.
Look forward to it.
And again, that's it for tonight. Aggies 83-59 with the win over Wyoming to again have now the longest win streak in the nation and 15-1 and still leading the league at 3-0 headed on the road. All right, we'll join the programming normally on KVNU in progress coming up next right here. So enjoy the rest of this day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.